Well, hello, everyone. We're just a couple of weeks before, not three weeks before our trip, and we wanted to get together with you, we wanted to give you some highlights on what's to come and give you some logistical information. So if you all have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them
I
or
stopped hearing anything.
direct them. What?
Oh, you're not hearing us?
Can you hear us, Jamie?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to add
To what?
to what I just said?
No.
All right. Well, I just had a meeting with our travel concierge, and I am so excited because we literally went through the entire itinerary and the agenda. It's going to be incredible. But what I want to say is, so about 2 weeks prior to our departure or the start of our retreat, our travels concierge will send us the packing list and restaurant recommendations. There's a local restaurants in the port cities where we'll be, because most dinners will be on our own. So every day we'll have breakfast on the boat, we'll have lunch on the boat, we'll have a couple of dinners on the boat, and then the rest of the dinners are in the town. So we'll have those recommendations. And also 2 weeks prior to the retreat start, they will send us essential retreat information with like what to do in the emergency or in case your flight is delayed, and the cruise manager's phone number. I'll also start a WhatsApp group for us. So anytime you travel internationally, it's better to use WhatsApp. So I'll start that group, and the day before the retreat starts, I'll add the cruise manager's information, like phone number there as well. So in case anybody is delayed or something happens, we all know what's going on. All right. What they also wanted us to mention is that our organizers highly recommend getting a travel insurance. So consider that if you want to do that. Do we have travel insurance?
No.
We normally don't get travel insurance, but I'm gonna relay the information. They say that they highly recommend travel insurance in case something happens. So do you want to know about the agenda or what? Now, agenda is subject to change, right? It depends on the weather, the tide, et cetera, et cetera. This is kind of tentative agenda. They will coordinate with the team on board and finalize it, and then they'll email it to you. And even then, just know that agenda is subject to change. But it will give you a great idea, like just get excited about what's to come. Okay, so the transfers. On May 11th, a lot of y'all arrived to the airport around noon. And at noon, the airport transfer takes everybody who is there from the airport to the dock. Now, if you arrive early, like a few days early, then you just come to the dock on your own. And again, they will send us the exact location, the address of the dock. So they say that it's probably it's much easier to get there from Split rather than from the airport. But just know that the main group leaves at 12 o'clock from the airport to the dock. The official check-in time is 1 p.m. Now, Romy, if you're gonna watch this video after, you arrive around 4 o'clock, they'll send a special private transfer for you, and they'll take you to the dock. Now, I need travel information. Actually, these are the people who will need to log in into their We Travel account and put their flight information, because the following people did not put in their travel information into the manage my account: Jody and James, Star, Lolly and Angela. You need to log in into the We Travel Manage My Itinerary and put your information. And then Aliyah and Yelena, I'll reach out to them. And then on the way back, I also don't have a few people's information, but I'll tell you that in a minute, a little bit later. Okay, so official check-in time is 1 o'clock. And then we'll hang out on the boat. We will probably do a little yoga class around 4 o'clock on that first day to stretch out any kinks from the traveling. And then there is a around 1 hour walking tour of Split. We're gonna go and check out the town. And then welcome reception and dinner will be on the boat at 7 o'clock. And then after we're all done eating, we'll have a short welcome circle. I mean, with respect, a lot of people are going to be probably jet lagged, so we'll keep it simple and short. May 12th is our second official and the first full day on the boat. So around 7:30, we'll depart Split at 8 o'clock. And while the boat is going to our next destination, we'll do yoga at 8. And then breakfast will be served 8:30 till 10 a.m. People who are not doing yoga can start eating earlier. Then we're gonna arrive somewhere beautiful, I forget the name, at 10 a.m. So that it's a swim spot or swim break or swim time. It will be between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Lunch will be around 1 o'clock. At 2:30, we're gonna have an optional, I call it manifest that shit. So
It's a workshop.
It's a workshop. It can be meditation, whatever. We'll play it by ear, but in the afternoons, we're gonna have manifest that shit work. At 4 o'clock on that May 12th, we're gonna have a Hvar city tour and dinner on our own. Yay! Oh yeah, I know. So on the department.
Let's get to that at the end, yeah.
I'll come back to that later. On May 13th, again, 8 a.m. yoga, breakfast, 12:30 lunch. In the afternoon, we'll have manifest that shit. And at 4 o'clock, we arrive to this. So we're gonna have plenty of time to check out this and have dinner on our own.
This is a place, VIS.
Yeah.
But it's all in your itinerary, so this is just an overview.
Yeah. May 14th, most likely that is the day we're going to go to the Blue Lagoons. And if you haven't yet checked out my reels on Instagram, I made 10 different reels, 10 reasons why you should come to Croatia with us. And a lot of these places I described in my reels, there are pictures, there are videos. So if you're curious, you're welcome to look on my Instagram, Albina Rippy, check it out. But anyway, most likely on May 14th, we're gonna, at 7 a.m., go to the Blue Cove. It's a beautiful cave and it's literally blue. The natural sunlight coming into the caves make this fluorescent blue light. It's really, really pretty. So we're gonna hang out there in the morning, from early in the morning. So there will be no yoga in the morning, but we'll swim in the blue caves. And then breakfast will be served around 8:30, maybe 9:30. Then we'll have another swim stop somewhere beautiful, I'm sure. 1 o'clock lunch, 2 o'clock yoga. And then at 3 p.m. we'll arrive to Korčula. I had to learn how to pronounce these names. Korčula. And then we'll have an organized walking tour of Korčula and dinner on our own. Okay, May 15th, we're going from Korčula to Mljet. It's another beautiful island, in case you didn't know. 8 a.m. yoga, then breakfast, then lunch, and then we'll stop at the national park at Mljet. It's supposed to be really, really beautiful. We'll have yoga at 5 p.m. on the boat, and then at 7:30 p.m., we're gonna have captain's dinner. And here I have some ideas for you. It's really cool if we all get dressed up. So captain's dinner can be, I was thinking maybe we all wear white. And it's going to be super cute. We can take lots of pictures. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Awesome. So I'll put it all in the email, but let's plan to wear everything white for the captain's dinner. By the way, Roger's the first time he's hearing all of this, so. May 16th, we're going to Slano, and that is where that, if you saw reels on my Instagram, I just made a post about an oyster farm. So in Slano, we're gonna go to the oyster farm and we'll have a wine tasting, local wines. It's gonna be incredible. I'm so looking forward to it. We're literally gonna learn how they raise oysters, how they harvest them, and of course, we're gonna do oyster tasting there. So on May 16th, we have yoga at 8, then some swim stop at another beautiful place, lunch, manifest that shit in the afternoon. At 3:30, we're gonna go to the oyster farm, and I'm really, really excited about that. And then after that, we're gonna be docked at Slano, I think it said Slano. Dinner on our own, and that is the only time there is a curfew. We have to be back on board at 8:30 p.m. on that night. Other nights, you can party all night if you want to, but on that night, we have to be back on board at 8:30.
Do they say why?
They said the captain will tell us.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I didn't ask.
All right.
Then May 17th, technically our last full day. We're gonna do 8 a.m. yoga, breakfast, lunch, and then around 1 o'clock we get to Dubrovnik. And then at 2:30 we'll have a walking tour of Dubrovnik, and then we'll have the entire afternoon and the entire evening to check out Dubrovnik on our own. So I'm excited. Are you excited? Does it sound exciting to you? I'm so excited.
Do you want to finish the agenda?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So let me cover a couple of logistical issues. This is what they recommend. So drinks are extra. If you want drinks, they will be charged to the room, and then you'll pay for those separately at the end of the trip. They prefer that you pay cash for the drinks.
Are they talking about alcohol, or are they talking about any drinks? Like if I want a Diet Coke, or is it everything?
I didn't ask that, but I can find, I assume it's alcohol.
I assume they mean alcohol, but
I assume it means alcoholic drinks. So if you're gonna get boozy, just know that they prefer to get paid in cash, and they take euros. So Croatia is a part of the European Union. It's all euros. Also at the end, what they will charge is 60 euros per person. Those are port taxes. So for every city that we'll go to and where we'll dock, the total for the entire trip is 60 euros per person. Also, they recommended that in case you wanted to know, to bring tip money also in cash. So I asked, like, what do people usually tip? They say for any guide, like walking guiding tour, whatever, we're gonna have several. They recommend $50 per person, and that's cash. And then at the end of the trip, just know that there are around 10 people who are going to be taking care of us. So there's the chefs, the cleaning personnel, and stuff like that. So customarily, people also give them tips. So let's talk on the last day, May 18th. So the airport transfer will leave early at 8 a.m. And we're still missing travel information or airfare information for my mom. I'll handle it, Mom. Aliyah and Yelena, I'll tell them. Kim Brooks, she's not here. Dave Height, Jody and James, Star, everybody. Oh no, Star is here. Star, we need your airfare information. You can go under We Travel, manage my itinerary, and put your flight information there. Stacy and Paige, your departure information apparently is missing. You can put it in there, and then Lolly and Angela. Oh, they're gone. Lolly and Angela, your stuff is also Lolly, Angela, not you, Angela. We have two Angelas.
Okay. No,
So, yeah.
I'll send you. It's kind of basically it's what Roger sent us.
Okay.
Okay. And except that we're arriving a day early, so I'll talk to you about where to stay the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll
I
send
think-
the agenda.
yeah, I send you that information. I think it's Radisson.
So if you want a nice place to stay in Split, what looked really nice to me was the Radisson Blue. It's
Okay.
I mean, one nice thing, it's kind of an American, brand, and it's overlooking the water. It looks pretty stellar. Now you can find obviously something else if you have a different budget or a different, but it's pretty nice but it's not outrageously expensive. And so check that out. If you don't like that, and you find something good, of course, please let us know. I don't even remember where we're staying. Honestly, we're staying in some little boutique hotel about 20 minutes outside of town. Because we're arriving a few days early so that we won't be jet lagged when we meet you.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if you come jet lagged, it's less okay if we come jet lagged, right? So
Oh, I just put in the chat the Radisson information in case you want to stay there.
Okay.
It's in the chat.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.
Mhm.
it looks really nice, by the way.
I know, Albina, your OCD will send us a or a summary of tips so that we know a kind of ballpark figure of how much to save, because how about if we spend it all and then there's not going to be any tips?
Yeah, and they will also said that in case you run out of cash, there are ATMs. The last day is in Dubrovnik and it's a big city.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about that. In case you run out of cash, you'll be able to get cash in Dubrovnik from the ATM.
I don't trust ATMs any place except the US.
I
And
get
even
it.
then I'm a little bit skeptical. So
Yeah, okay, so then you'll have to bring some cash, right? But
yeah,
the,
that's
the
why
other-
I want like a kind
we
of
will.
a guesstimate of how much we put away for
Yeah.
for tips and guides and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can figure that out for sure. And then also, the upside of having your cash up front is that you don't have to go to those ATMs. The downside is if something happens, you lose it or somebody snatches it out of your purse. You just have to be more mindful around it. Keep it in the
Yes.
safe and only take a little bit out when you go to town.
Mhm.
It's common sense stuff, but some people forget. Like my sister, we told her, do not take a bunch of cash to Italy. And of course she does and goes to the Coliseum and starts talking to somebody with her purse wide open. And guess what?
It's gone.
There's big wads of cabbage right there in her purse, and somebody snatched it out. So you use common sense. It's a safe place, but there is petty crime like everywhere else. So just be mindful about carrying large amounts of cash, right? And like real, even if it's fake but it looks expensive, I wouldn't wear like lots of jewelry and stuff. And you
Right.
can wear some, but you don't want to look like we are going to be literally fresh off the boat. You don't want to look like you're just walking around clueless with lots of diamonds and gold dripping everywhere, right? It just makes you more of a target. So just common sense stuff.
Okay, so a couple of more logistical things. I am going to send you, they haven't yet sent me the cabin assignments, especially for those of you ladies who are rooming together. So as soon as they send it to me, I'll send it to you. And then if there are any changes, we can swap out the rooms and stuff like that, the cabins. I have dietary restrictions for Jamie, the Frenzies, and Nikki. If you have any dietary restrictions, please let us know as soon as possible, and the chef will do his best to accommodate us.
Let me clarify. Email us directly, and then we will forward that, and they will do their best to accommodate. They're probably very used to it. So really, it's just a communication thing. So let us know, because they buy the stuff in advance. So letting us know the day of doesn't work as well, right? Because they're going to buy, they're going to be buying supplies. So let us know now so that we can take care, and so that you feel well taken care of when we get there.
Yeah.
Is
And-
there a menu though? I thought you were like talking about certain dishes, were you? Or I mean, one of the reels had different dishes.
I think there is a lot of seafood because usually it's all locally
Yeah.
sourced. Since we are along the coast, I expect there will be lots of incredible fresh seafood. But again, remember dinner isn't on your own. So dinner time you can,
And of course, breakfast will be what we probably consider to be somewhat standard breakfast type things, right?
Yeah.
Yogurt, cereal, bacon, eggs, that kind of thing. So what we're really talking about is I can't eat gluten, right? I need to know that. I can't eat dairy.
we
I
do
need,
have
we
to
need to
look
know
at
that. I'm fine. I can't, I can't eat dairy. I can't eat gluten. I'm vegan. These are all things we would like to know in advance so that they can make sure that there's plenty of food that you love. We don't have exactly the menu because I think they will be going in the mornings into the markets and buying things fresh, right? And so that we can have fresh food because there's probably limited storage on the ship. But also, I think we can have a general idea that it's going to be international fare, but also some local food dishes, right?
Also, remember there is a hot tub on the boat. So remember to like bring bathing suit, lots of swim stops, hats, and layers. Right, so the weather, we don't know how the weather will be, but closer to the travel date, we can probably look it up. But I expect whenever we are at sea, it's probably going to be chilly, right? So and then when we go into the city and be walking around in the sun, we're probably going to get hot. So comfortable shoes, layers, yoga clothes. They do have yoga mats, so you don't have to bring your yoga mat with you. And then converters. You all know, right, that in Europe they have different electric outlets. So I would bring a converter with me.
Do they say what the converter is?
Yeah, I put it in the email previously, but I'll resend it.
I'm pretty sure it's a C and an F. They both fit in. It's just a matter of one's a little bit more, more modern, but they're called C and F, European converters.
We'll double check that, but you're going to want that probably because, right, for your devices. And then I would say, one of the best things to do is kind of have like a uniform that you're going to wear, sort of layers, right? So that you don't have to pack too much clothes, but something you can like, that's comfortable to walk around in, and then you can quickly like, okay, put on something, and then zick, it's gone, wrap it around your waist or fold it up and put it in a backpack, something like that, so that you have all the weather covered because it could change, right? And we're going to be moving. So, in the course of a day, she was saying you could be super cold and super hot, and it's all going to happen all in one day, so.
It happens every minute. I was on a sailboat just Saturday, and
Yeah, there you
it
go.
was beautiful when we got out of the dock, but then I put my hoodie on, took it off, put it on, took it. Yeah.
Well, here
My
you go.
hair was like
For
And
sailing, I would recommend that you wear a sun hat too, so you're not exposed constantly to the sun.
yeah, there'll be a lot of sun, and there is shade also on board. And we're not on a sailboat, so there won't be quite as much like ocean spray, but we're going to be pretty close to the water, so mist and all that. So something that's waterproof, that you can, like a jacket that you can put on, that so you're not surprised by you've been standing outside for 10 minutes and your clothes are soaked, right? Because you can go through fog and stuff, and that kind of thing too. So
And again, they'll about 2 weeks prior to departure, they will send us a recommended packing list, and they'll also say what to expect as far as the temperature goes. White outfit for captain's dinner. In my book, that is the most important thing. I want to look cute, and like if we're coordinating, white outfit for captain's dinner.
Well, I was going to weigh in on that. I love the idea of dressing up, but white is something I probably wouldn't wear any other day. So maybe a different color that can get double duty, especially for the men. I know Mike doesn't own a single thing that's white except for some dirty t-shirts. So
fair.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could wear a white shirt with dark pants, but white's a little hard to pull off for the rest of the trip for me anyway.
I got it.
Well, I mean, I think white t-shirt will work, or a white sweatshirt, or white top will work. We did that in Italy, and everybody wore white. Who was there with us in Italy?
Well,
it was beautiful. Like
tan also kind of works.
Yeah.
Got like light color, kind of like a tan or a so white, also like white linen shirt or something, you can wear when you're walking around on a hot day. It kind of helps too.
Like off-white is fine to beige, it works.
Mike just told me he's down with this, so apparently I was objecting on his behalf
He's
wrongly.
going shopping.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Can something be washed, and what is that sort of, how does that work?
That's a great question. I feel like we addressed
That
that
might
question.
affect my packing.
I think, oh, I remember. Yeah, that we asked that question last time, and what they said is they cannot wash stuff on board, but you can wash your stuff in the port cities.
Yeah, there's like washing
Yeah,
places.
wash-
I'm sure
wash-
for places that are close to ports, they do that all the time
Mhm.
for
Stuff.
I know they're gonna send a packing list, but do we have any idea what kind of room amenities? Is it gonna be the same as a standard hotel? So I don't have to bring shampoo, soap and all that stuff, I assume?
I assume, but I can check the toiletries.
The toiletries, yeah,
I think-
it'll probably be on their pack list.
Yeah, it will probably be on the pack list, but what they said, beach towels and towels they for sure provide.
Oh, good, good.
And then my friend who did this retreat, the same weekend as we're doing, the same week, she said the boat was so much nicer than she expected, and it was much, much fancier than the pictures. So, and I mean, Christina, she travels a lot, and she said it was actually, the pictures don't do it any justice. She said it was very fancy and very nice.
I would expect that it has just like a hotel, it's going to have shampoo, conditioner, and soap. But, if it had, whether it has every single trimming thing that you might find I don't know, but we'll ask.
Yeah.
And it'll be, we can find out on the packing list day 2.
From the practice, I see you, Stacy, 1 second. As on the practical terms, also, if you have a roommate, I would bring like earplugs in case your roommate snores. And we might have some wild nights, who knows,
But also the sounds of the boat and maybe eye mask or something too. So that way you're sort of, those things could both help.
Yeah. Stacy, you had a question?
Could you just check on a blow dryer?
Blow dryer, I'll ask.
Thank you.
I assume that's there, but we will.
I'll
Yeah.
double check, yeah.
Usually they're installed in
Yeah.
the boats, in the rooms. They just come off just like a hotel that you would
That's
have.
right.
That's what I
right.
would think.
I've seen a couple of those and they have them in there.
Could I make a comment, Albina?
Of
Please.
course.
I listened to the pre-recorded, and somebody had asked a question about seasickness, and I know you slightly addressed it, but the options, obviously, those little wrist bracelets that touch on a acupressure point, scopolamine patches for back of your ear, but those need to be gotten by your primary care doctor if somebody's worried about true seasickness. And you had said Dramamine and the drowsiness. So Dramamine non-drowsy, which is meclizine 12.5, is it's used for vertigo. So it's also used for seasickness. And obviously there's the old-fashioned Dramamine, which is number one effect is sleepiness. But the non-drowsy is meclizine.
Okay.
So for the concerns of anybody who has, or like Roger, I don't tend to have seasickness, but I'll probably take a little pilly poo every morning.
Lolly, can you put it in the email or in the text message for me so that I can put it in the email and send it to everybody? Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you for that.
And Lolly is a doctor, so I trust her fully. So she's using all the fancy names. I'm like, I don't know that. Please put it in writing.
But also,
I will.
right now, all I have is I bought a couple of bands, like, seasickness bands. That I just for the wrist. I just bought one for each of us, but the boat is going to be large. It's 4 stories tall, and it's 160 feet long. So it's not going to be quite as, it's not like we're on a sailboat. We're on a yacht, and we're not going to be too far out at sea. That's not to say that we will be moving, and we will be in water.
Yeah, if people get car sick, plan on being boat sick, and once you get sick, game's over. you know.
Oh, no.
So you want to prevent it, because once you're sick, you got to go puke, and then your day is ruined.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna go see my onboard doctor that happens to be one of our
Yeah,
big
so
participants.
prevention is going to be the key.
Yeah,
All right.
thank
Thank
you
you,
for
love.
that. That's
Thank
super
you.
helpful. And I actually feel way more comfortable knowing that we have a doctor going with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you friends, we still have one cabin left. So if you know anybody who wants to jump in last minute, that option is still available. So, and the flights were pretty reasonable still last week. So if you know anybody who still wants to join us, they still can.
Somebody's notices are dinging and dinging. I don't know
Oh,
who's
that's me.
somebody's very, very popular.
Well, we're super excited, and I hope you are getting excited too. Any other questions, comments?
I do
Any-
have a question. Hi,
Yeah?
Albina. It's Star. Um, I had told the people in charge that I'm gonna stay longer, which is why I didn't share my
Okay.
flights. But at the time, I thought we were arriving, or that's what she mentioned, that we're gonna arrive on the 18th. So there was no time to see the city. So which is why I was doing that. So I'll check again and see if I would want to actually include myself. So I'll let you know. But I also missed the beginning of your agenda. Is there any activities that we're supposed to sign up for in particular, or no?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No, and we-
everything is organized. The only thing is when we're docked in towns, dinner's on our own. And they'll send us restaurant recommendations and things like that.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and we recorded this, so we're gonna send it out to
Mhm.
everybody. So if you missed the front, you can go back and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
And one more question, are, any recommendations on the type of sunscreens that are allowed? And as you had said, I'm going to try to do a carry-on, but carry-on, you can't put on a full bottle of sunscreen. And so therefore, I don't want to pay 40
Yeah.
euros for sunscreen on the boat, because I think we're going to need it no matter how much coverage you have. We are all whitey pasty right now.
Yep.
As I look at y'all. Me too.
You know what I would say is that the sunscreens in Europe are better than the sunscreens here, and that you can get them at any pharmacy, but they do tend to be more expensive than American sunscreen. So if you have a favorite, I think you can bring it, up to 3 ounces, right? If you're going to carry it on. Is that right? 3 ounces?
It's 4 ounces.
4 ounces. Yeah, sorry, 4 ounces. Which can get you a little ways, but maybe not if you're slathering it on, like every day, like I have to, then it may not last the whole time. So I may just take a stick, just like a stick, one of those, that's kind of a waxy stick thing, for my face, and then buy something there at the pharmacy. They tend to have better and stronger and more, what's the right word?
SPF.
Well, all the spectrum, they have all this UVA, UVB, and all the other, sunscreens. So they tend to have some of the best ones in Europe. So
Yeah.
you might also just wait it as long as, you don't have one that you particularly like. Some people are like pretty particular about their sunscreens. They want it to be mineral based, or they want it to be a certain thing or certain kind, breaks them out. Bring your favorite. Up to 4 ounces if you're carrying it on. And by the way, I would totally recommend that you do carry your luggage on if you can on the plane, because the last thing you want to do is get to Europe and you don't know where your luggage is. Stacy, who went to our last,
Oh, that's right, girl.
and another person, 2 people lost their stuff. They got it back, but it was sort of midway through the retreat, and we're going to be moving, so it's going to be even harder to get your stuff to you. So to the extent you can do it in a carry-on, the extent that you can, pay to upgrade to get on, to make sure, like if a flight looks crowded, and you have to pay $20 extra or $30 extra to pick your seat and get it moved up in the boarding line. It's worth it on the way there. On the way back, if it takes a month to get to you, who cares, right? Because it's like you've already had the vacation. You don't need your stuff. You're at home. But
We will be doing only carry-on. Inevitably, every single retreat that we've ever done, somebody's luggage gets lost, and then these people are miserable. We don't want this to happen to you, so I would recommend carry-on.
strong recommendation.
Strong recommendation
not
for
check
carry-on
bags.
only. So that means that you'll be kind of versatile. But hey, if Roger and me and the kids could travel for a whole year around the world with just carry-ons, I promise you can do 7 days. I promise you
It might
can
be
do 7
harder to
days.
do 7 days than it is to do a whole year, because a whole year you have to really make those hard choices, right? You know, you're not gonna, you don't want to lug around a bunch of weight for, all these different locations. But the good news is once you get there, you can pack it up pretty tight. Once you get there, it doesn't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to be dragging it through the streets because you'll just put it in your cabin. So that's good. But you will be moving. So if it gets lost, they'll have a hard time finding us.
Mm-hmm. Any other, I'm so excited. I don't know about you all, but I'm like so excited, especially today when I really looked at the itinerary and got to know all the details. I am so excited.
Yeah, and really honestly, I can tell it's going to be beautiful. I know that's no problem. And I will say it again, the best part of every retreat of ours is the people and the connections that we make with one another. And I'm also very excited for that because some of you I know pretty well and some of you I don't know at all. So I'm looking forward to meeting you and you meeting each other. That's one of the miracles that happens on every retreat, is that there are like new, beautiful, real connections that are made, and everybody just has the best time, and there's something for everybody on this trip. I think will be really great.
Oh,
So,
I'm gonna add also, like, bring a journal, because if you're gonna do manifest that shit, usually people manifest some incredible things on our retreat, right, Star? I mean, I'm looking who else has been there. People
Yes.
get married, people have babies. I mean, whatever.
not on the retreat, but
No, yeah. If that is something that
although
you
they do get
want.
married on our retreat.
We
Yeah.
got people get married on the retreat a couple of times, actually.
Yeah.
Roger is an ordained minister, just FYI, in case somebody needs one.
If somebody gets inspired, that's right.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even think about that.
That's right. So we can whip out a wedding for you too. So bring a journal. We are going to do some manifest that shit. I think it's quite powerful. So if that's your cup of tea, and if you're curious about learning more, we'll have plenty of chances to do that kind of work.
Okay. Any questions?
I don't know if somebody asked this question, but about, can we bring alcohol on the boat if we buy it
Oh,
outside?
that's a good question. I assume that if you buy it in the city, you can bring it on, like
Yeah.
your own wine.
Yeah, that sounds like, yeah.
I think you probably can.
Or what about duty free?
Yeah, maybe I mean, I don't know how that works on this boat, but let's ask about that. Can you write that down?
Yeah.
I have read that Croatia is becoming quite the stellar wine region, and
Yes.
the Dalmatian coast has some really outstanding local regional varieties.
Yeah, and it does. You probably wouldn't find it too often in the United States because I think they drink it all. Like, because it's not mass produced, right? So I think like it's like some countries that have good wine, they drink most of it. So could be an opportunity to taste. Yeah. Anything else?
That's it. All I can tell you is that my friend had that retreat last year, and she said it was literally the best trip she's ever had. And her people were blown away by how amazing it was. And she said that the marketing materials don't do it any justice.
And she's kind of a snob, so
She's a super big snob.
Were they on the
she's done the
Susanna?
work. She did the work for all of us. Let's
That's
put it that way.
right. Thank you, Christina.
Yeah.
All right, friends. If you think of any other questions, email me, text me. I'll start that WhatsApp group soon. Yeah.
Yay!
Down now.
All right,
Bye,
I'll try to
Thank
scrounge
you.
up one more person.
Scrounge them up. We like scrounging.
Scrounge them up. Invite your friends.
All right,
2 people can fit in that cabin.
all right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Take care. Have a great week.